Welcome to Tower Talk Business Radio, where we bring you conversations with the top business minds on Long Island and around the nation every week. Featuring expert consultants and small business owners who have found success but are also willing to share their top tips, failures, and give gritty, matter-of-fact advice based on their firsthand experience. Now, let's get down to business on Tower Talk Business Radio on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Hello, and welcome to Tower Talk Business Radio, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation. My name is Ray Schwetz, AVP of Community Relations at Jovia Financial Credit Union, along with Donyshia Boston-Hill, CEO, keeper of the brand marketing and digital agency, and we are focused on being the premier resource for business and entrepreneurship.
We bring you weekly business advice, tips, tools, and services that help you grow your business. Plus, we interview the top business leaders in the industry. So, Ray, we're back at it again another week. And wow, what blurry days we are happening now. Is it a circus or what?
Yeah. It's Blur's Day, the 97th. And but we are here, yes. And we do have somebody who will help us run this circus today. Helping provide us with business empowerment is Jillian Weston. Jillian is the founder of Jillian Circus. Jillian Circus is an online marketing company that has grown over the past 6 years to include hundreds of businesses and individuals who work with her marketing managers, content development specialists, and web design team to build their own success stories. So Jillian, welcome to the show today. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. Yeah, we're excited to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. So tell us a little bit about how you got started in the business that you're in now.
Sure. So I got started by basically seeing an opportunity and running with it. I got a job working for a local hotel on Long Island. And at the time it was 2012. So Facebook and Twitter and all of that was relatively new to the business world. But of course I had been using all of those tools since I was a kid. So when businesses started sort of needing them, like the hotel really needed a Facebook presence and they needed a Twitter presence and they needed somebody to, do their email marketing campaigns and things like that. I stepped up, and at 22 years old, I started doing all of their marketing, and then I started going to trade shows for them. I started going to networking events for them, Chamber of Commerce events, and through meeting all of those other people, they kind of asked me to do their marketing, and it sort of snowballed from there. So. And then I kind of fell in love with it. I loved working with all of those different business owners. I love figuring out their businesses, learning about them, their needs, and sort of helping them grow while I was growing. So it was very cool, and I was very fortunate to find it. So.
That's awesome. Now let me ask you, Jillian, how did you come up with the name of your company?
Jillian Circus. So in the beginning, I was doing a lot of things. I was booking bands. I was doing online marketing. I worked as a bartender for a minute. I was event planning, working at a hotel, everything. So I didn't really know at that time where I was going to sort of land. So I came up with first of all, I felt like I was running a circus, which I think all my clients can relate to. And of course, Jillian obviously is my name. So I felt like I was just juggling like all these different things and at all different times and trying to keep all the balls in the air. And so that's sort of where it came from. Also, elephants are my favorite animal. They just embody so many wonderful things and characteristics. And so I was looking for something that represented elephants as well. And so circus, again, just kept popping up and it just made sense to me. So I went with it.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Love it, and it's definitely an unforgettable name. You touched on on social media, and it's interesting because you do think about it. And I, for one, am very grateful that we have the technology available to us and the social media available to us during these times that are so unprecedented. So, how do you feel like? How is this affecting you in the way that you do business?
In the way I do business, I don't think it's necessarily changed. We're blessed that working from home is just part of our, if our employees are on vacation or if they're not feeling well for a certain amount of time, they work from home regardless. So the way in which we operate hasn't changed much, maybe a little bit of the communication, not being usually our employees, they'll walk up with their laptops and show, what do you think of this or what do you think of that? And so that camaraderie has changed. Instead of walking up to each other, they call each other, they do Zoom or they text each other, or they share projects, via email. So that's changed a little bit. But how we operate the business is essentially the same. It's just that human connection. How our clients need to do their marketing has changed. So we've gone from more of like a marketing sales strategy to more of a marketing PR strategy. Right now, we're not doing much of selling, or, we don't really want to be so salesy. It's more, what is this company doing during this time? How are they helping people? What are they contributing to society? So the messaging has changed.
Yeah. I'd like you to talk a little bit about that, because I just think this is such a hard time to market yourself, and yet companies still need to stay relevant, and there are still products and services that, look, all of us need, regardless of what's going on.
Correct,
so
yeah.
Could you talk a little bit more about kind of about some of the challenges businesses are going through with that, and what things they're looking at?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's really no secret that you need to market your business no matter what. If you just stop marketing just because you're going through a very difficult time, you can end up coming out even worse than when you went in. And if you keep going, you can actually come out much stronger. We've seen this. There's so many examples of companies that are just showing what they're doing, how things are going, and people are on their side. People can't wait to use their services again. But I mean, marketing tends to get this like very bad rep for some reason, like this, like we're trying to pressure people into doing something they don't want to do. It's not the case. Every single person is in business because there is a need for their services. There is a need. Somebody needs their services for some reason. So if you're a restaurant, people need to eat. They need to find a place to get food. If you're a hair clip company, people want to find joy in making their hair look beautiful. I mean, there's no shame in that, and there's no reason why you should be hiding because of what's going on. There should only be showing what you could do. So if you have that hair clip company, you should be promoting, like maybe you want to give some hair clips away to some people that might have, issues with finances right now, or maybe you want to give a discount, or maybe you just want to show hair tips, like how you can do your hair at home, with the clips and things like that. Or, if you're a restaurant, certainly you should be promoting yourself. There should be no restaurant that's closed right now. Everybody should be able to be doing takeout, delivery, whatever you can do, pick up, and then just letting people know that that's going on. You have no idea what it is or maybe you do. Maybe some of the people listening know what it is to not have to cook one meal, or, just be able to get that provided. So, and then also on the flip side, how many jobs people are saving by having these businesses open. So, I just, it has affected people for sure. It has affected everybody. There's nobody that hasn't been affected by this, but there's ways that you could also take advantage and do well and do good things while this is going on.
Yeah, you definitely have to show your empathetic side and your empathy and your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, agreed. And you touched on something I think that's very helpful, because, like you said, maybe if you're a hairdresser, sure, you can't do people's hair right now like you would like to, and they can't come to you like they'd like to. But if you can give them tips to help them, look, they're going to remember that, and we all need a little bit of that. And yeah, I've done enough cooking. I'm done. Definitely want to order out. So, I mean, I know you're very much involved because we've, rubbed shoulders at a couple of events. I'd like you to tell us a little about, you have a very good heart, and I'd love you to tell us about some of your work with charities, and then let's talk about some of your networking.
Sure, yeah. Well, thank you. A few years ago, a friend of mine got me involved with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and she just invited me to a breakfast. I think I just said yes. I didn't even know what I was going to. And how you do those things here, people just invite you to stuff, and you're like, oh, okay. And I heard this man, Jesse, speak about his experience of having blood cancer from when he was a child. And after hearing his experience and the way that he talked about his experience, I couldn't leave there without doing something. And so I signed up they have an executive challenge, which is different business owners who commit to raising money. And that's I think in the fall. So they do that in September or October, I believe. And I signed up to raise some money. So through my networking group, we raised, I think the first year we raised like $1,500 or something like that, like some, whatever. But it was amazing. And when I did that, I started not even meeting, but realizing that the people that I already knew that were sitting next to me had connections to cancer that I didn't even know. People that I've been in networking groups for years with, or clients, or, people on Facebook, they would just perk up and they'd be like, wait, I've experienced this, or I've had this, or, I had cancer, or my children, or my cousin, or my niece. And I just couldn't believe how many people and how many stories there were. We don't talk about that in the business world. Nobody asks about those kinds of things in networking groups. You don't go up to somebody and say like, hey, do you have a connection to cancer? It's just not something that happens. So I've now been doing it for 3 years, and I just keep meeting more and more people. So I did commit to running for Woman of the Year for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society this year. So that's a campaign that starts on May 26th, I believe. Kickoff's on May 26th. We're going to do a virtual kickoff. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're coming up with all kinds of great virtual events to raise money. And prior to this, the majority of that money that was raised is going to go to developing cures for pediatric cancer. So there have been about four drugs developed for children with cancer since 1980. But in the last 2 years, there have been 57 drugs developed for adults with cancer. Over 40 of them were actually developed by LLS directly. So it's wonderful that LLS is doing all that, but we really need to focus on children. Children are being given medications for adults. Like, you would never give your kid like adult medication normally. So I don't understand why we're giving them cancer medication for adults. Like that, it just doesn't make any sense. Right. So that is their focus. However, now they're also giving a lot of funding to people that are affected by COVID as well, because a lot of people are afraid to go to the hospital to get treatment, or they've lost jobs and can't afford treatment right now, things like that. So a lot of the money is going to that right now in this time also. So that's what we're raising money for. We have a ton of really fun virtual events that we're going to do. We're doing a cute pet contest, so you can sign up your pet to win the cutest pet. We're going to do the asking price is right. So if you think that you can guess the asking price of a local home and you're really good at that, you can sign up. We're doing a virtual, we're doing an actual in-person drive-through. So you'll be in your car, but we'll be watching a movie. So we're going to do that. So we have a lot of really fun events lined up, and we have some t-shirts for sale online. So we are looking into a virtual wine tasting. So lots of fun in the next few months, which I'm really excited about.
You are listening to Tower Talk Business Radio on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Ray Schwetz, along with Donyshia Boston-Hill, and our guest today is Jillian Weston, founder of Jillian Circus. So that's really cool. I mean, it's amazing how we can adapt and do the things that we used to do, but just do them differently, tilt them on their head a bit.
Yes.
Very cool stuff.
I'm really excited to hear about the Unicorn Network. Can you share a little bit with us and our audience? What is it? For those of us who don't know?
Sure. So I started my company at 23 years old, and networking at 23 can be a very intimidating and discouraging situation. You go into a room of a lot of people who know each other. They're a lot older. They've had a lot of experience already. and you're and they look at you, as young, they don't know you, they've never met you. You're in that millennial category, so they don't, they're not really sure. And so I was really looking for a place where I could kind of just meet with other millennial professionals who were doing what I was doing, people who were young, who were starting out, who were hungry, who were determined to, and just honestly, I just really wanted to like drink and bitch with them about life. Like, this stuff is hard. Like, this life is hard, and our friends and family don't understand. They don't understand this like professional life of network. They're like, oh, you're going to a network meeting? That's a party, right? And we're like, no, like, you don't know how hard it is to smile for 3 hours and like shake people's hands and like have small talk. Like, it's work, I promise. So I kind of just wanted to like gather all of us and do this. So I created the Unicorn Network for millennial entrepreneurs, and I did that in 2016. So now it's 3.5 years later, and we have about 450 millennial professionals on Long Island and Manhattan. We raise a lot of money for charity. It's free to join, free to be part of. We work off a sponsorship model instead of dues. So that's how we pay for small things or donations to other charities, that we don't do events for, things like that. And it's just become this absolutely wonderful thing where we can support small businesses. We support each other. It's just this massive support network system that's been built. So I'm very proud of it.
That's way cool. So you have a few years under your belt now. What are some of your biggest projects that you've worked on, or ones that you are super excited about?
Sure. So last year we did a derby event. That was a lot of fun. We raised, I forget how much exactly we raised, but we raised a few $1,000s for the New Ground Foundation. So New Ground helps stop the cycle of homelessness for veterans, mostly, or anyone on Long Island. Every year we do our annual booze cruise. That's always the best. So we did that for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society last year. And that's a lot of fun. We have 21 for Fun does our casino. We have a DJ. We have the food. We go off from Freeport. That's a great event. On Small Business Saturday, we do our holiday gift fair, where we have small crafters, like businesses that make their own items, and food vendors. And then we have like a Santa and a DJ, and we do a fun little holiday fair. And that's also a lot of fun. So those are some of the projects that the events that we've done that have been really great. As far as how we've inspired people, there's so many stories to even count. I wouldn't even know where to start. I don't know.
Now, you've worked with a lot of businesses as well. What type of businesses do you really like working with, and what type of work do you do with them? I mean, I know you work with the online marketing, but what you do is you do so much more than that. Can you tell us a bit about some of the businesses you work with?
Sure. So on the marketing, with my company, the online marketing company, because it gets confusing, I do all these things. We take a company, typically a closely owned company, somebody that has maybe 1 to 3 partners, so to speak. Sometimes, typically they're family owned. Really, anyone you see kind of on Main Street, those like small to mid-sized businesses, and we kind of figure out, where they are in their business. So, where have they been? How long have they been in business? What they're doing now? Where they want to go? What their goals are? What they're trying to achieve? Who they need to reach? Why they need to reach them? How they can help those people? And then we create a marketing plan for them. So we can start with. It depends sort of where they are in the process already. So we can go all the way from branding, where we're creating a brand for them. We're creating a logo. We're creating fonts, colors, to, getting them a website built, making sure they have an app if they need one, making sure their website actually reflects who they are and that it's ranking. So many people just have these old websites that just don't reflect their personality. To social media, where we're engaging them in their community. So if their community is a physical community, like a town, or if their community is like, a yoga instructor wants to have a community of people that just love yoga and that are really involved, So whoever their community is, we want to get them in front of it, do a little online networking. So we want to introduce them to people that can work with them. And then we can do search engine optimization where we help them increase their results online, through search and getting them to rank higher, etc. So really anything they need to market their business, we can help them with.
You are listening to Tower Talk Business Radio. Our guest today is Jillian Weston, founder of Jillian Circus. My name is Donyshia Boston-Hill, along with Ray Schwetz on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Tell us a little bit about, you told us about some of the businesses that you work with. How are you now networking? I guess going back to Unicorn Network, how are you doing the networking now that things are all virtual? What sort of events or what sort of networking are you doing?
I'm doing more online networking. I guess that's the same as I was before. Online networking, okay. Awesome, no matter what. I mean, you should be online networking. It's something you could do in your pajamas. Nobody will see you. When I watch TV, I typically do it when I have a show on Sunday and a show on Monday night. So like on those nights, I'll do my online networking, and in-person networking has gone virtual. I think we're all doing virtual meetings. The Unicorn Network is doing them. They're working out really well. We're getting a lot of people to get onto onto Zoom. And I'm pretty sure that's how everyone's kind of handling it. I don't know if there's even another option. I'd love to hear another option if there is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know, it's interesting. My exposure in terms of all the online resources is, of course, Zoom and Google Meet and Teams, and so I'm learning a lot more about technology than I ever thought I would. That's for sure. So now you have a team that you work with, because obviously you do a lot yourself. You really are a Renaissance woman. Tell us a little bit about your team, and that could be people within your company and, of course, your external partners. I
can't say enough about how much time do we have. I have the greatest team on the planet. I have 4 full-time marketing managers, Abigail, Alec, Latoya, and Kevin. They are more than fantastic, and they have been absolutely fantastic throughout this entire process of, there's a lot of change, there's a lot of uncertainty. And they have just been absolutely wonderful, holding down the fort in their houses, staying in communication with our clients, things like that. They are fantastic. I have 2 amazing web developers, Jason and Dominic, who do an amazing job. Rosalie, our graphic designer, she is fantastic. She does her designs are, I don't know, I'm a pretty creative person, but like her vision is just on point, and she's wonderful. And then we have, Teresa does our blogging, Liz and Celia do our photography, Jack does our videography. I mean, we have a team of people that are just, I can't say enough. I can't do it without them. So they're wonderful. And then as far as the Unicorn Network, I have a board as well there, and they are also, beyond, Mike, Brittany, Kara, Brandon, Leah, Danielle, Diana, Scott. We have a big board. I don't want to, Stephanie, Kevin. I don't want to miss anybody, but they are all wonderful, and they work so hard to. They just, I don't know. I don't know how to describe like how amazing it is to have people that are part of your vision and that work for it every day and put in their own time and effort. To bring joy to other people and to like make this thing work. So I'm very appreciative.
Absolutely. So, Jillian, what is the one thought you would want to leave with our listeners from a marketing perspective and also from a unicorn perspective?
What is one thought? Oh gosh. This always trips me up.
I have the tough questions.
Very tough questions. I would say do it. Go for it. Whatever it is. If you want to do something, go for it. Can be hard, and it's going to take a lot of time and it's going to be stressful, but it's really worth it at the end of the day. So if you have something that you're passionate about doing, or you see a need in the world for something that you can facilitate, please do it. Please help those people. Please provide that thing or that service, or do it. That's my thought.
Just go for it.
Just go for it. Yeah. Don't let that it's not the right time no, just do it. Figure it out. You'll figure it out. You can do it. I promise.
And where can people find you and your company? I'm sure you're digital, so you're all over the place. But what's your website?
Jillian Circus everything. So all my handles are Jillian Circus, JillianCircus.com. My last name is actually Weston, not Circus, but so Jillian Weston or Jillian Circus, you will find me. I am very, very easy to find.
And is there a phone number or any other way to contact you other than social media?
Our number is 516-208-9061. It's on our website, social media.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you very much. Jillian, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you being here, taking the time out of a very crazy and hectic COVID scheduled day. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much. It was great.
I'd like to leave you with DB's philosophy. Your brand is so much more than what you sell. John Iowa.
We want to thank you for being with us. My name is Ray Schwetz, along with Donyshia Boston-Hill, your co-hosts and producers. This is an NCC Foundation Business Leaders Council production. Visit ncc.edu/WHBC for more information. Available on iHeartRadio as a podcast on iTunes, Android Podcasts, and Spreaker. This has been Tower Talk Business Radio, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHBC.